I don't know what to spend my Sunday days on. Oh, something's happening today.
Who is it?
Wonder now on sale.
Huh? Oh, come in. You don't stop by very often, Senpai. Is something wrong?
No, not particularly. Is this a bad time?
Aw, are you feeling lonely?
Hey, are you teasing me?
Nah, I'd never.
Sure.
I wonder what this Nyx is like. Do you think it's inside Tartarus?
I have no idea.
Oh, by the way, I've made my decision. I want to fight to the end. It's better than doing nothing. That's why you're here, right, Senpai?
You got me.
Yeah, you're pretty easy to read.
I've made my decision as well. The Kirijo group is slowly regaining its footing. After I graduate, the plan is for me to eventually take over as leader. Turning back was never really an option for me.
But what if you die?
If we can defeat Nyx and I die in the process, then the company will continue on without me. And I'm confident they'd carry on my wishes.
But from what we've heard, Nyx can't be defeated. Though I kinda wonder about that. We've got someone on our team who seems pretty unkillable too.
That's true. And he's an exceptional persona user, even if death was empowering him from within.
He's an interesting guy, huh?
He certainly is.
You know, if things don't work out, I think I'll still be okay as long as I'm with everyone. Honestly, I don't think it matters if we live or die. All that really matters is that we're proud of how we lived. And I know I'd be proud if we decided to fight Nyx.
Is this about honoring your father's legacy?
Yeah, that's part of it. But mostly, it's about me and how I feel.
I understand.
Senpai, a while back, you asked me to face what comes next with you. You didn't forget, did you?
I could never forget. We'll fight together, Yukari.
Good.
Well, there's no school today. But do you know what there is today? Is bullshit to buy on the TV that I will do immediately without even questioning it. Give me that. I want it immediately. I don't know what you're selling, but I'll take it. I just say like some sort of pink outfit or something? I don't know what the heck I just bought, but okay. Go duplicate some stupid skill card. Let me confirm that everything is at least 2 now. I don't really think there's much that I can be spending my day on. Let's see here. Yep. Let's go through everything really quickly. So I think Endure was the last thing that I had at 1. But let me double check really quickly. Yeah, I don't see any more 1s. Here, let's get a growth 3. Sure. Just in case I need to level up some persona. May as well then. I don't know. I'm out of things to do, really. What's going on in here? Game Parade. I can go for agility. Let's just get like a max strength, max agility Siegfried because it's funny. I'm at 90, so a few more times. This is so dumb. The fact that I'm doing this. This is so dumb. Oh man, look at that. Zoom zoom. I'm probably not using that for a thumbnail. I don't think. There. my stupid Siegfried here. Man. Well. Oh, hello. Hi.
Yeah.
It's not like me to just give up. No matter what the outcome is, I want to know what I fought for my that I fought for my future. That's what I've
I
decided.
suppose.
I have no choice but to go on. The answer was right in front of me the entire time. If I don't make it, Someone else will have to take over the company, although I have every intention of returning. Seeing if Koromaru was over there or something. It's almost Christmas, isn't it? It's like I was sleepwalking. With so much going on, I almost forgot all about Christmas. I should think about, like, what sort of 3D prints I can potentially make some people for Christmas gifts. 3D prints are cool. Koromaru seems more determined than usual.
By the way,
Strega dumbasses haven't made a move yet, huh? They better hurry up and show their faces. I don't know what they're up to, but I'm gonna crush them either way. I'm with you there. I'm not gonna let them get away after what they did to Shinji and Shijori. Looks like Koromaru's on board too, aren't you, bud?
hey there.
I wonder what Mochizuki is doing right now. Maybe he's cursing fate. Why does he even care about life on Earth? Who? What? I don't really want to think about it. No matter what we do, we can't stop it from happening. It's just not fair. I wish I could just forget about it too. But the promised day will eventually come. There's no escaping it. Now we're calling it the promised day, not the fall. Okay, well, there's no one to hang out with there. It'd be nice if I could do part-time work in the evenings or something. Just so that I'm making progress towards something, even if it's just like some Steam achievement that I really don't care about. Like, I don't realistically see myself 100%ing this game. I mean, I basically 100%ed Persona 5, because I ended up liking it a whole lot. I got like basically 99%. I got all the Personas except for the ones that you need New Game Plus for. And I didn't have all the social links finished, but start New Game Plus and those can be finished like immediately. That's the case. I definitely put a lot of work into Persona 5. And I guess I never did stuff in the Thieves' Den to get achievements and crap there. This is so dumb. Well, my Siegfried is just gonna be stupidly strong. Oh, something's happening on Monday. Hey, the exam results are up. I scored the highest in my grade. Everyone is looking at me with respect. Wow. Come to think of it, Mitsuru promised to give me a gift if I scored well. I should talk to Mitsuru when I see her. Lunchtime is almost over, I should get back to class. So glad that I did amazingly.
Alright, class is starting.
We're a little ahead of schedule, so let's do some review. When you see electromagnetism, Lorentz force, and Fleming's left-hand rule should come to mind right away. I won't give partial credit if you write right-hand rule, got it? Okay, moving on. Feeling sleepy. I don't know, stay awake. Sorry, what was that again? The law of happiness without hard work? Do you really think I'll give you credit for calling some goofy wish a law? Clearing the blackboard now. Hurry up and write. Force myself to stay awake and listen to the lecture. Sounds like a pretty boring teacher. He sounds kind of like some of the teachers I've had growing up. Alright, let's go duplicate another skill card and come hang out with someone, I guess. It's what I will do. Okay, go elsewhere. Go over here. Go do this. Maybe I would have been able to max out all the social links if I really had from the beginning saved links like the old couple. For only if I had like no other choice. Then I could be spending days that I now have no other option to do that. Doubles healing effects. What's the point of that if there's already skills that like fully restore HP? Where's the... How about... I don't know. I can't go wrong with having like extras of these. Bring them up to 3, I think. Sure. Can't go wrong with that, I don't think. Because those are ones that I could actually see myself using. So Mitsuru, Yukari, and Miyamoto. I could finish off Miyamoto. Get another link finished here. Or distribute things a little bit. So I know that that one would be at 9. And both of these are at 7 right now. Wait, and that's Priestess there. Lovers, that's 7 as well. And the personas that I have right now, I have Empress, I have Lovers there. We've been hanging out a lot with Mitsuru. Maybe I'll hang out with Yukari this time. maybe what I'll do. Just wanted to have some time to spare today. Want to walk back together? Sure. Just to mix things up a little bit here. Been a little while since I saved. Keep on doing that from time to time. Hey, Kusta-kun, looks like we're finally done with exams. Man, I'm all beat from all that studying, and I'm sure you are too. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back. By the way, are you heading home? I was thinking of going out somewhere first. It seems Yukari wants to walk home with me. You feel like something proposed her thanks to a stupid pixie in my pocket. Sure. So this is like 7, right? That's Fuka, that's Babe, that's Miyamoto. Here's Yukari's one. So 7 to 8, I just have to say all right, and I get a +3. Let's head to Paulina Mall then. There are a few things I wanted to check out.
Hey, mind if I go take a look at some earrings?
I do mind.
I've been wanting new ones, but I can never seem to make up my mind. They're all so cute, you know? There are too many options to choose from.
Something I would
Why don't
never
we
understand
go
myself.
somewhere?
All right.
Yeah! Come on then, let's go. Hang on, I've got a call.
That sure doesn't look like it has any pockets.
Uh-huh. What? You're not doing it?
What? You're canceling my extended warranty?
Wait, it's fine. You can do what you want to do. What I mean is, if that's what you really want, then go ahead. It's your choice, so you really don't have to worry about me. Well, then, do you want to meet up and talk about it? Hey, stop it. Don't cry. I'll try to call you more too, okay? All right. Bye. Now it's my mom. She apologized for everything that's happened. She said she won't get remarried until I'm okay with it. That's weird. I can't stop shaking for some reason. Can we sit for a while?
I sat with Yukari until she calmed down.
Sorry about all that. I'm fine now. I was just surprised. I never expected this to happen. I told her we could meet up and talk about her remarriage. I'm nervous just thinking about it.
Do you want to see her? I think it's the more polite thing to ask here.
I want to. I'm afraid it might get ugly. We haven't seen each other in almost 10 years, so it's not going to be easy. I'm afraid I'll get angry and say something cruel. Still, I think it's time I try talking to her. I've been saying how wrong it is to run away, so I need to live up to my own advice. You know, I think she still misses my dad deep down, but she couldn't handle it. Losing someone so important to her. That's why she needed someone to lean on. I think losing someone you love and having to go on alone is really, really hard. I'm not sure how to explain, but I realized this after being with you. I think being in love means giving a part of yourself away, and that's a wonderful thing. I mean, just in general, you know?
Ah, yes, obviously. Yukari's feelings are coming out. It seems to have grown closer. Alright, 7 to 8. Cool. Rank up. Well, we'll see how many of these I max before the end. I think in Persona 5, the only one that I didn't was Haru. I don't know if there was any others that I couldn't quite finish off. I decided to go back to the dorm. So I don't know how Haru's story goes. All the way. Welcome back. Today's December 21st. Yep. Just 10 days until New Year's Eve. Whoops. I shouldn't say it all, but I think I'm okay now. I'm gonna fight. Whether we win or lose, I don't know, but I want to know that I did everything I could. Don't know why I can't access the log on that screen, but I can for some reason. Let's talk.
Hi there.
Exam results are out, so that's one less thing for us to worry about. Now, what should I do for Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just thinking about something. Now that our exams are done, I can't stop thinking about the decision we have to make. This is even harder than studying for exams. Christmas is almost here. You excited for it? Sure. Cool. Let's enjoy Christmas. Anyone up here that wants to have a little bit of a chat? Well, this is just for, saw your exam results. Good work. Oh yeah, it's admirable how you continue to excel in school while fighting arduous battle after battle. I got you a gift to acknowledge all your hard work. Here, take it. Master Incense? What does that do? Since I placed at the top in the exams, I also got this Phoenix Charm. Does that bring me back from death once? If I had to hazard a guess here? Like, let's have a quick look-see here. Restores all HP upon death once per battle. Okay, so it's a full restore once, not just bring me back. There's something else new here? What? Oh. I don't know. No, it's just the same stuff that I'd already checked out before. What the heck? And the, raises all of a persona's stats by 1. Can be used on an ally's persona. Ah! So that might be good to use. I think a lot of these towards the end I might use on Yukari, because while everyone else is like, hey, sometimes they're in my party, sometimes not, Yukari's always in my party. So I think that probably makes the most sense to buff her up the most. Plus keeping my healer alive and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. If there's agility that I can do here, again, max out Siegfried's agility too. That would be extremely funny. Nope, not this time. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll go on the computer and get that other thing that doesn't really matter. Is what I suppose I'll do with this thing for courage. But before I do that, I am gonna have to take like a quick BRB here. Is what I'm going to have to do. So give me uno momento. I'll be back in like a minute or two. Wow, I get back. I'm just sitting down here. Just gonna leave when I get here? Oh, sorry, Carvia. Whoopsie doopsie. Giving you a chance to look at your away screen on Wowzers. The updates to it are really nice. I don't know when you had the other stuff like the Jigglypuff Amiibo, the Truck Poke Walker, but they're nice touches. This has always been the case on this version of the screen. Has always been the case. If you're still here, do I still have the old ones or did I delete them? Oh, I deleted the old ones, so I can't even go back to them as reference because it was starting to like crash OBS how much stuff I had loaded up at once. I can probably pull up the old GIF though, is the case. Yeah, I redrew the whole thing. It's not additions, like I redrew it all from scratch. Like, let's see here. If I just add a thing and I call it test screen or something like that, I can probably still find the old GIF. Even if I don't have like a whole layout for it. Let's see here. Go to here. And then it's... What folder did I have these in? Screens? Was it this? Yeah, it was this. So if I find my old continue screen... Oh, that's just the PNG. Yeah, this. Yeah, like this is what the old one looked like here. And then this is the new one. So, this took me a decent while this past summer working on this. But yeah, probably in the Carvia's Cool folder, that's right. But yeah, so this is the way that it looked like before. So, I drew this, like, before I was super confident with some of my digital art skills. And, like, it was very basic. I didn't understand what lighting was like at this point. And for the evolutions on my mouse pad, I just drew them as, like, I did draw over what they look like on my mouse pad, but I drew them as, like, the official art versions. I sampled colors from, like, the official art versions and drew them as, like, full, colorful, bright, official art versions of the evolutions. Whereas this time, I actually decided to draw them in the style that they're in on my mouse pad, where they don't have an outline. You could argue that they have a little bit of a white outline. So I put that around them and I made it semi-transparent so that it does look like the kind of glowy effect that's going on, as opposed to they just look like PNGs like this. Like, in this way, they actually kind of look like they're a part of the mouse pad texture. I actually tried to get lighting a little bit better this time. There's also some upgrades to my setup. Like, I got a new keyboard this past summer after my last keyboard was dying. So that's still my old keyboard. That was like a $20 Microsoft keyboard that I drew in there. That was just a thing that I could use. Whereas now, here's my current keyboard that I'm using today, which, man, let me tell you, drawing that, what a pain in the ass, like, holy crap. So, that took me a little while. I tried to include little touches, like, little reflections on the table in front of it, of, like, the keys and stuff like that, is what I try to do. And then things like the controller tower between the monitors. That's something that I 3D printed like way after this screen was made here. So I had known that I wanted to replace my screens for a while, and now I think that like I'm pretty satisfied with this. I might change the font of like the continue, be right back, and not be right back. The begin adventure, continue, and save and quit. I might change those at some point here, like the font, potentially. But yeah, things like the controller tower here. I mostly 3D printed this, one, because I thought it was kind of cool, and two, because I thought that it would look cool as something to draw in my art to showcase, like, hey, I have one of each of the main different big gaming companies' controllers for all sorts of different video games around here, to really emphasize that clearly this is a variety streamer's channel. There's a PlayStation controller, an Xbox controller, and a Nintendo controller, all in one shot there. I needed a frame of reference, so I had to actually 3D print the whole thing. You can see the Xbox controller isn't on there right now because I'm using it to play this here video game. So yeah, that was a little bit of a small printing project. Took a little bit more effort than I would have liked because I was dealing with having recently changed out a nozzle on my 3D printer at the time, and it wasn't exactly sending out filament quite right, and I was getting clumps. Like, these did not exactly print super well, but hey, it works! It's to look functional, and from a distance you can't even tell anyway. But yeah, how are you doing, Carvia? I'm getting close to the end of this here game, and I don't know what to do anymore. My courage cannot get any higher. So yeah, doing this is literally a waste of time. But I don't have anything else to do anyway! It seems like an experience to Sengoku here through the eyes of a warlord. A cuckoo bird chose for me. Guess I'll be seeing the life of a Tokugawa Ieyasu. I'm genuinely just running out of things that I can do that actually do something in this game. So I finished experiencing the eventful life of Ieyasu. Could go to bed, there's that as a nothing, but hey, may as well get through the finite things here. I feel inspired by the man who unified the country amidst an age of turmoil. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing alrighty here. Wow, that sure made a big difference there, didn't it? It's gone late, I should head back to my room. Yep, most definitely should here. That's what I should do. Tuesday, what am I doing on Tuesday? Oh, people want my attention for some reason.
Good morning. This is Elizabeth.
Oh, is this about missing persons?
I am calling to inform you that more humans have wandered into Tartarus.
Yep.
This
Tis indeed.
Please swiftly and safely.
Yep, so those are apparently the only people that are gonna go missing this cycle. So before the next full moon, I am gonna have to go to Tartarus. So it might be like one of my typical streams where I go through what days I can, and then sometime towards the end, I go to Tartarus. I know it really doesn't matter in this case, like when I go to Tartarus, but it's chilly today. Atagibor Leolam Adonai. Miss Onishi left early today, so I'll be filling in for her. I think today we'll learn about near-death experiences. What kind of school is this? There's no real reason for it. They've just been on my mind lately. The teachers here are so genuinely awful. Now, a near-death experience is defined as something an individual undergoes just before death. Is it true insight into the afterlife, or simply a trick of the brain? Opinions vary, but it is certainly true that near-death experiences have been a hotly debated topic for some time. There are actually a few surviving records of ancient near-death experiences. According to the writings of Plato, a resuscitated soldier experienced the afterlife as a spirit. A similar incident was reported in Japan by ethnologist Kunio Yanagita in the Tono Monogatari. Psychologist Carl Jung wrote that, in his own near-death experience, he saw a vision of the world from afar. I'm sure you've heard your own stories, whether by famous or ordinary individuals. I have a few first-hand reports with me today. Let me read you some of them. I felt as if my soul was detached from my body. I met a friend who had already passed away. I saw my whole life flashing before my eyes. I saw the most brilliant light. I was bathed in pure light. My body was brimming with happiness. This feeling of pure joy is also known as euphoria. At any rate, these kinds of reports are typical for the experience. Some people have actually attempted to make direct recordings of near-death experiences. Researcher Kenneth Ring has tried to quantify near-death experiences with a weighted core experience index. Modern efforts, what is a school, have led to the new theory of near-death experiences, which goes like so. If an individual is dying, yet denies that fact, they'll eventually come to realize that death is a reality they must accept and become upset. As a result, they'll try to do anything they can to extend their life. But the futility of this leads to depression. Is this just meant to like draw parallels to the place the story is at right now in the game? In the end, they accept their fate. Although we may initially deny death, we'll accept it in the end. That's just how we humans are. Is everyone listening? It's not every day that you hear a lesson like this. About a test to see if you're paying attention. Get it wrong and your memories of life at school will disappear. Ata gibor leolam Adonai. Now, who should I pick? I choose the acoustic. What do we call the feeling of joy that comes from a near-death experience? Yugoslavia!
Correct.
Good work, that is correct. You'll have a happy school life. Some people say a near-death experience awakens one's higher consciousness. Whether or not that's true, there is an observably lower fear of death found in those who have endured one. Perhaps this is because near-death experiences are surprisingly free of pain and suffering. But this is not to say I'd want any of you to seek one out. Use the time you have here wisely, okay? Well, that's all for today. Class is dismissed. Answered correctly. Everyone is looking at me with respect. Wow. Hey, Carvia, have you played any of the new Mario and Luigi title? By any chance? Classes ended for today. Let's go duplicate a stupid skill card that maybe I'll use, maybe I won't. I don't know. It is possible. You were gonna ask if I have? Because I have. Let's see here. Okay, without spoiling stuff. Gonna ask what it's like. Heal support. No. I'm sad to say. I do not. There are parts of it that I like. Like, the combat is good. The animations are, like, super charming and cool. Like, the whole stretchy style of animation, like, is done really well. Yeah, we both didn't care for Dream Team, right? Is it at least better than that game? It's been a long time since playing Dream Team, but from my memories, no, it is not. I would say. Let's hang out with someone over here. Man, everyone wants to hang out with me over here. Yeah. And everyone, like, in those streams, everyone tells me that apparently Paper Jam is, like, a really bad game. I wouldn't know, I've never played it. But it's seeming like, from the way people describe it, like, it's probably worse than Paper Jam. If that game is supposedly bad, I'll find out eventually. I'm so disappointed. Is it spoilery if I ask what you don't like about it? Probably not. Like, I don't know what there's much that I could spoil about the story anyway, because there's just been not really much of anything happening, and I'm 2/5 into the game. I can tell because the world map is all these sections, and you clear a section and move on to the next one, and I just cleared, like, the second one, and I've moved on to the beginning of the third one. So 2/5 in, it hasn't really done much of anything. If I'm gonna ramble about this a little bit, I think I'd rather be here. I like the music better. There. Let's listen to this a little bit. So with the gameplay, it kind of misses out, at least in the overworld gameplay, it misses out on what makes Mario and Luigi. So it's always been the case in the series before that, like, you control Mario with A, you control Luigi with B. That is still the case in combat, but not the overworld. Also, it's not the case in combat in menuing for some reason. So, as you're playing in the combat, you have to select your actions with A no matter what, but still use, like, A for Mario's attacks and B for Luigi's attacks. So once it switches over to Luigi, you have to use Mario's button to select his attacks, but once you start actually doing his attacks, you start hitting the B button. And it's just, I keep on hitting B to, like, navigate his menu all the time, and it keeps on screwing me up, and there's no option to change it in the menu. And in the overworld, while you can still press B to jump with Luigi, there's basically no reason to ever anymore. So the previous Mario and Luigi games, they'd always move, like, back to back. They'd be like a unit moving around where you're controlling both of them like that. Now it's more like you're controlling Mario on his own, that's a decent bit ahead, and Luigi is an AI ally that's, like, following at a decent distance behind you. And if you try to do what you would do in series past, where it's like, oh, there's this jump that I have to make, so press A, then press B, then press A, then press B for the next jump, and so on and so forth, like, back and forth. You don't do that anymore. You try to do that, and Luigi will just jump in place, unmoving, and then when he lands, he'll just run and catch up, like, as part of the AI. There's no more, like, navigating areas through the challenge that is controlling both of them at the same time. If you try to do that, Luigi is just gonna be stuck in place, and he just catches up after. So basically all the overworld traversal is you controlling Mario, while Luigi is just an AI ally that comes with you. And there are still things that you can do together in the overworld, but in that case, then Luigi just gets an idea of something he can do, and you can press the L button to let him do that idea, and then AI Luigi just goes and does it for you, instead of you controlling both of them as a unit and figuring out like how to do it in tandem with both of them. So yeah, he feels kind of like ordering a Pikmin around, or like a captain in one of the Pikmin games, where it's like they're just an AI ally that's like going and taking over and doing the same things that you can. Like, it's no longer like you're controlling both of them as a unit. And there's some sections that, this probably isn't too spoilery to say, but there's like one stealth section, for example, where Luigi has to like be a distraction to other enemies and have Mario sneak through. So you press the B button whenever you want to distract enemies that he's close by. But because you're only controlling Mario, you don't control where Luigi is. He's just on a conveyor belt that goes around and around. So once he's at the area that's close to enemies you want to distract, all you have to do is hit B, and then it distracts, and then you can go past as Mario. And there's so many sections like that that feel like they would have been designed for two different players. One person controlling Mario and one person controlling Luigi. But instead, it's just like you have the AI do half of it. Like, the worst aggressor of this is probably the sections where you have to jump back and forth, where it's like, here's a platform for Mario, you land on that. Here's a platform for Luigi, Luigi lands on that. Then a platform appears over here for Mario, so Mario lands on that. There's sections like that, and you do the Mario ones, and you just sit back and like do nothing and just watch as Luigi just does his sections for you. And I haven't gotten to them yet, but according to some of the reviews that I've read, apparently there's sections where you have to do things together, but at like a certain time, but the AI apparently doesn't wait and just beelines it to do their section all at once. So if you don't time it like perfectly, him beelining it will mess you up, because you're just at the whims of the AI, and if the AI is doing something that sandbags you, then that just sucks to suck. So yeah, it's no longer like Mario and Luigi in the overworld. Now it's Mario plus AI helper is what it is, which is really extremely disappointing. The idea of going around sailing from island to island, yeah, it's really, really odd. The whole being on a ship and sailing around like different islands to explore that all have like their own different themes is a really cool idea, but there's just nothing interesting done on any of these islands. Like, the best part of the Mario and Luigi games, in my opinion, has always been the boss battles, because then the combat of the game gets to really shine and really push you. So I figured at the end of each of these islands, there would be a boss battle. There isn't. There is not boss battles at the end of islands. It's usually just you reach the end of the island, congrats, you cleared the island, that's another island done. And the content of the islands themselves is usually like very, very basic and boring. Like, oh, you're playing hide and seek with these kids, go find them from around the island. Oh, these people want you to go do a fetch quest for hair gel, so go do the fetch quest for hair gel. Oh, do like a super basic stealth segment of just avoiding the line of sight of enemies. Just like super, super simple and boring stuff over and over and over again. And it's just not very interesting, combined with the fact that they don't really contribute anything to the story at all. So in Bowser's Inside Story, the example that I used from that game was going through a dungeon like Bowser's Castle, where you have the villain that's taken over Bowser's Castle and like brainwashed all of his minions, and it gets you intrigued and wanting to continue exploring, like, whoa, what's going on here? This is strange. And it makes you want to go to the end to see what has happened there and how it connects to the story. And you get to the end of the area and you're awarded with like a main story cutscene. There's Fawful on the stage that's putting on a performance. He's doing the Fawful show, and Bowser confronts him and he sends Midbus after him, and now there's like a big battle that's going on, and it's like, whoa, there are things happening in the story as a reward for clearing the dungeon. The reward for clearing the islands in Brothership is you cleared another island. You're this much closer to winning the game, because you have to like connect all the islands to win the game. That's it. It doesn't actually move the story forward in any way. It's just like, yay, you did another island, cool. So there's no like cutscene rewards or like anything interesting story-wise to be working towards. And there's no interesting boss at the end either to be looking forward to. So it just makes you feel like, what's the point? Why do I even want to clear this island? It's kind of like Persona 3 is here compared to Persona 5 is one of the examples that I used. In Persona 5, as you're doing like subplot after subplot, they do contribute to the overall plot, but each of the subplots are also like genuinely interesting and have like their own characters with character development and interesting stuff going on along the way that makes you want to keep playing so that you see how this situation resolves itself. And that's kind of like how it is in like Bowser's Inside Story, where the areas that you're clearing are connected to the main story. Yeah, I liked Partners in Time. I definitely had my issues with it, but I generally liked it. Though it also had a little bit of that same problem where it's like, yeah, you got another fragment of the Cobalt Star, but the area itself wasn't really all that connected to the overall story, and the areas could feel a little bit lame because of that from time to time. And it's that in Brothership, but on steroids. And to compare to Persona 3 here, it's just going through school endlessly. The only time this story actually starts doing anything remotely of interest is in like, what, November or October or whatever that was? I think it was October that it started to actually start doing serious stuff. After it had been like a whole nothing burger for like the first 60 hours of gameplay or whatever it was. And it's just so boring because there's just nothing happening that contributes to the overall narrative, at least anything significant. And it's just like that in Brothership. So to me, Persona 3 here and Mario and Luigi Brothership are kind of equivalents, whereas Persona 5 and something like Bowser's Inside Story would be like equivalents in that sense of like how much interesting stuff is going on to keep the player engaged. Like, I genuinely have really not liked playing Persona 3. I've thought that it has been an incredibly boring game, and I'm just trying to like beat it at this point because holy crap, has this just dragged on and on and on. So yeah, I can't wait to see this through to the end. But yeah, still gonna get the game, but it's so saddening to hear all the bad stuff about the game. Yeah, maybe you'll play it and like feel differently about it than I do, but yeah, that's the way that I'm feeling about it right now. Because yeah, there's a way that you can handle your subplots to make them interesting. Either have them contribute to the overall narrative or have them have like their own arcs and character development that's interesting, like Persona 5 does with its subplots. But when your subplots on the islands are things like, oh no, this guy can't get his groove on because he doesn't have his hair gel, but now that you got his hair gel for him in a fetch quest, now he can get his groove on. Congrats, you cleared the island. It's like, where is my reason to care? Like, I don't get it. So, yeah. The music has been pretty alrighty, but it's not quite the legendary Yoko Shimomura themes of all the previous Mario and Luigi games. Like, it's alright, but if you asked me to, like, hum out any of the themes of the game, I would not be able to. And without getting into, like, any specifics of the story, which I couldn't even if I wanted to, because it, like, barely advances the story through it. Like, it goes at, like, such a snail's pace. Like, it's probably not spoilery to say, like, the very beginning. This world is separated into different islands. You gotta bring the islands back together again because of that, because it sucks that they're separated. That's the premise. But the thing is, you go to these different islands, and nobody seems upset that they're separated into different islands rather than one big landmass. The game just tells you, hey, you have to bring them together because it's the right thing to do. It's the way the world is supposed to be. But as far as I've seen, 15 hours in, not a single person is upset that things are separated on the actual islands. Of course, there's like a couple people on your ship that are like your companions that are like, oh, you have to reunite them. It's so terrible. But as for the residents on the island itself, on the different islands themselves, nobody is upset. Everyone is going through like their regular day-to-day lives. And by the time you reunite them with the other islands and connect them, nobody cares. Nothing changes. Like, then it really makes you wonder, what is the point of reuniting them when no one even cares? It's really, really strange. The island that surprised me the most is there's this one that's themed around like being like a super luxurious resort and hotel place where there's like all these super rich like business people that are all wearing suits and stuff like that. So you'd think if they're now isolated on an island where everyone is rich, which therefore means that nobody is rich, that everyone there would be like really, really upset, and they'd be cut off from resources that let them have those luxurious lives. So they'd be like really upset about that. Nope. Life is going on there completely normally. Nothing has changed. There's no issue here. It's so weird. It just feels so artificial and forced when it's like, you know, realistically, people would be pretty upset here and be like, whoa, you're connecting things again? Thank you so much. That's so awesome that you're doing that. And you'd think that even a game with a simple plot like Mario would want to do that so that it feels like you're actually doing something meaningful. You're actually contributing to the betterment of the world. You're really not in this game. It's just bring the islands together because that's the objective that the story has told you is the main objective. And that's it. What it actually achieves by bringing stuff together, I couldn't tell you. Nobody's lives change. It's not changing anything. So it is extremely, extremely odd. And to not go into like miss anything, just rambling about Mario and Luigi Brothership here. And to talk like a little smidge about the villain without actually spoiling anything. The villain is not charming. Something that I really liked about the previous Mario and Luigi villains is that they always had like a lot of energy. They always like were in complete control of like the attention when they're on screen. Like they really steal the show with like their energy and enthusiasm and everything that's going on there. Like Fawful is a really good example of that. And even something like Antasma in Dream Team, where it's like, whoa, it's Antasma and he's doing like all this crazy stuff and gonna do all this nightmare things and has like a really cool design, and like I don't think Antasma is as good as someone like Fawful, but still, like they command attention when they're on screen. The big bad of Brothership, who I don't even remember the name of right now. Oh, I remember, it's Zocket, because like electricity themes like Socket. It's just like monotone, I don't care about anything. Yep, this is my plan, I'm doing it. He doesn't have like, I haven't seen his facial expression change once. I think he's wearing a mask. It's one of those things where it's like really hard to tell if it's a mask or his actual face. And he's just like monotone, bland. Yep, I'm doing this bad thing. Like he does not command attention, and it's just really, really lame. As long as the game anyway, in-game days, months you mean, it goes until the end of January. Is what it is. Yeah, it's not great here.